I don't have to really balance any of the personalities because I think all the personalities balance themselves, you know? I mean, when Ed Begley Jr. is going to say a joke off camera, we all kind of slow down because we want to hear what Ed Begley thinks is funny. And Paula Marshall's real funny, and the kids are very funny on the show, and that's something that I wasn't prepared for. Ryan Mangini, the boy that plays my son, is hilarious. And this week, the episode we're filming, we have guest stars Martin Mull and Jane Curtin. So I'm as a comic, I'm in heaven because I'm in the midst of royalty. Of course, I think families at home will be able to relate because just because you're divorced doesn't mean you're not a family. It's still very much a family sitcom. It's just that this family's divorced and trying to get to the next step of their lives. My wife Allison is engaged to our old marriage counselor, and I'm out, my character Gary is out dating and trying to sow his wild oats, I guess. So at the end of the day, I think any family will enjoy the show because there's an ex-husband and an ex-wife, but there is kids and there's a kid dynamic, and both people have to stop fighting in front of the kids. That's what's important for me for the show, is that Gary had to be a good dad. And at the end of the day, there's too much reality TV and too many hour-long dramas where you get so caught up and you got to hit pause whenever the kids walk in the room. This is an actual family show that you can watch with your kids. Well, I relate to Gary because I was divorced and we didn't get along so good. And I'm a little like Gary in that I like to have fun with the kids, but I don't serve my son food on a Frisbee like Gary does. But I'm a bit like Gary. I like sports. I'm a good dad. I'm very proud of my fatherhood. I'll say that. But that's kind of it, because I don't date and I'm not out. I don't drink. Gary drinks. There's a lot of differences between Gary and I, but there's some similarities there too. No, I'll be on Ghost Whisperer this season. I'm definitely in the first episode. I murder Jennifer Love Hewitt's husband, and then I'll be back for the trial. No, it's the best. I'm a comic. I get to walk onto the stage, say something funny, and then walk out the door. It's the best job I've ever had. Every job I didn't get is worth it just to have this job for a little while. I mean, I'm a comic and I get to walk in and everything I say is funny. It's the best. If you do a show like The Ghost Whisperer, you film every day for 12 hours or 15 hours. But when you do a sitcom, you film one day a week, that's your show night. And the rest of it, you just rehearse and go home. So the hours are probably more than half of what they were on Ghost Whisperer. So having a son and wanting to do, continue to do stand-up comedy, it's great because I have an actual schedule set in stone. It doesn't change every week depending on whether we're shooting nights, are we shooting days, is it going to be an outside raining shot, how does this person's schedule affect this part of this, schedule. It's just very much a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job with one night going late to shoot. That's it. It's fantastic.